Hi, I'm Annabelle Laskowski, and this is my exit ticket number 2 for using computers in education. My first question for this exit ticket was, why do we ask students to do project works and create productions? And I said, as a teacher, it's important to ask students to do projects and create products to encourage them to think in real world ways. By giving students challenging new opportunities, they will think harder to fulfill the tasks at hand. Students that think logically when solving problems will do better in school. They will try to figure out problems or tasks and processes. As a teacher, I will create many student production tasks that I can align with my school's curriculum. Student production tasks can be used in any subject area. And I used an example, say we were discussing planets in my class, I could ask my students to create a model of the different planets. And by giving students these fun ideas, it helps facilitate the learning. When you make learning memorable, it's going to stick with them longer. Even when giving the same prompt to all students, they will each come up with their own unique idea or process to fulfill the prompt. When students have access to materials, they can be as creative as they want to be. An example from the previous slide was how I asked students could recreate solar system and or planets and have the same prompt, and they can all come up with different designs. Like this one's a mobile, and this one's a 3D solar system, and then this one's like a standing up one. What are my ideas for implementation of Makerspace in my future school, and in particular my classroom? In my future classroom, I will implement Makerspace in my class by providing students with access to technology and materials to be hands-on in their learning. I strongly encourage the use of technology in the classroom to better my students' knowledge of anything involving technology or arts and crafts. I will implement the use of Makerspace in my future classroom because I believe that it gives students to access to these, that like giving access to these different learning methods allows students to learn at their own pace and be as creative as they want to be. Examples of makerspaces that I could use in my future classroom, like all of these are just different technologies and materials that can be used by students to help them learn and be hands-on in their learning. Implementation of Makerspace in my future classroom continued. One concern that I have about implementing Makerspace into my future classroom is that I plan on teaching first grade or second grade, which are very young students, and I just feel like it's a little bit harder to use technology with children in ways other than like videos and such. It's definitely easier for older students to use the technology. And when I choose what school I want to teach at in the future, I have to make sure that the school has the funding and the accessibility to technologies in order to have maker spaces in my classroom. And it's not just the teacher's responsibility to expose students to new materials. It depends on like what materials are provided from the school and what the teachers are given to work with. Student assessment, it plays a big role in the classroom. Students assessment doesn't just benefit the student, it benefits the teacher. By assessing students, teachers get a better understanding of how each student learns, and teachers can learn that each student has different ways of learning new information and not all methods work for each student. By assessing students, the teachers can decide what methods work best for each student and how they can use these methods to help students thrive in their education. Assessments also allow teachers to see if their methods are effective or not. Student-centered assessment. The best way to achieve student-centered assessment is by letting students decide what methods of learning work best for them. Not all students learn the same. The best way to know what's working for a student is to ask them what method of learning do they want, what works best for them. Some students need hands-on learning, but not all do. Some are just, you show them what they need to do and they will do it. Others need to be very hands-on, or some are visual learners. And when teachers know this information, it helps them decide which students need more one-on-one or which students need more visual representation for learning. Closing the digital divide. Teachers can help close the digital divide among students by providing them with access to technology. If students don't have access to technology outside of the classroom, teachers can help students with getting take-home technology, such as like an iPad or a Chromebook that they can take home for the night to finish their homework or create a project that they're doing for class or something like that. Some schools don't have the funding from their school corporations to have access to these different technologies. And in this case, teachers can write to their local government and advocate for the use of technology in their schools. And hopefully that helps them receive more funding. My future of closing the digital divide, I did the perspective because I don't know in the future if I'm going to be working at a school that has the funding to have these technologies or not. So I kind of did both perspectives on it. So as a future teacher, if I can help close the digital divide by personally starting a fundraiser where the proceeds go to the school to help purchase technology for the students and materials that can be used to create a maker space, which then helps close the digital divide. I can help close the digital divide in my future school by providing students with set times that they can explore technology, by incorporating in your daily routine a time for students to get on the computers, get on the laptops, explore the different technologies that are right in front of them, and then possibly they can decide what they want to use to help them learn. By incorporating technology into my lesson plans and by having students use technology to complete assessments, I'm providing them with knowledge of different uses of technology. By using different tools and platforms, I'm closing this digital divide and everyone is learning the same thing and being able to use them on their own time. And that's it. Thank you.